Well, we can find that out later on, because first of all, they've still got to go into Game 2 of Sanguine, and Sanguine have a tall task to climb now. Because if Sanguine lose this set, they are completely out of contention. It'll either be Armada or Very Nice to Me going, because Armada did defeat Sanguine earlier on. If Sanguine fall here, well, the round robin part of it's put to bed, and it's just 2 teams left.
It's just down to the wire here for Sanguine. Their backs are against the wall, and right now, it seems like the only thing that they for sure do not want to deal with is the Morrigan and the Pele. Oceans did have some really good Morrigan transformations. Even that early teamfight skirmish that took place were very nice to me. Off the bat of Oceans, Changeling into the Terra. Nice Earth and Fury as well, just to round things off. And I think that Oceans did have a really easy time on that Morrigan. And Sanguine also going for the Athena first pick. I like this.
We've seen this a couple of times before, though, with Athena first pick. In response, Nice Team is going to take away Terra. And the other question is, what damage dealer? Because you're always looking at like the front line, the damage more than anything else at this stage. A couple of things available. It's going to be an Agni. Interesting.
I think that Agni has a lot of space control, and since you've already got the Terra with a lot of AoE control, you might as well buckle down and go for the Agni also. But Athena Medusa, it's a wombo combo as old as time itself. I think that everybody is pretty aware of how well Taunt and Petrify go hand in hand. And I also like the Ratatoskr just to provide a little bit more threat pressure onto this Agni in the mid lane.
Yeah, a lot of actual globals now with the Athena and Ratatoskr, so plenty of mobility for Sanguine to get around this map and cause some problems. Very nice to me. We'll go with the Mercury, though. First one we've seen of the minor league so far. We're what? 5th game of the day, and that's the first Mercury
I'm still blown away.
Pick or ban.
It amazes me to no end that how different things can be from the minor league and the pro level. But right now, very nice to me. themolluskk at least trying to make it happen with the Mercury.
Do you like the Odin ban from Very Nice to Me there as well, though? Because they've got 3 gods that are definitely going to have issues with that ring if it came into play. Take it off the table, make sure it's not available. And now Sanguine have got some tough tasks ahead of them.
I honestly would have preferred to see a different ban over the Odin. I understand that they had Terra, Agni, Mercury, 3 gods that can't escape that cage, but looking at Sanguine's comp, I don't think they really had anybody to capitalize off of that ring to begin with. And we've seen time and time again players go for the Odin because it looks really good on paper until you take a glance over at the rest of the members on the draft, and it just doesn't really suit Odin at times. But that's neither here nor there, because Ra and Cabrakan,
they're 2 picks we don't see that often these days. Ra's kind of like fallen off a little bit in favor. He's sustained, isn't as impactful as he once was. Then the Cabrakan, which we don't see at all, but now we're going to get a tier in response.
I guess my thing about the Ra and Cabrakan is it doesn't really seem to fit the direction that we thought this Athena, Medusa, Ratatoskr was headed in. I was hoping to see a lot of heavy crowd control. That way Sanguine could just frequently be burning out the actives. Very nice to me, but Ra's not going to exactly be able to bring much pressure. He's just there for damage and sustain. If he isn't punished, I think that Agni might have the better end in this matchup, because Divine Ruin is certain to be a staple pickup item here for Oceans on this Agni, and the Cabrakan can kind of work like an Odin with a little bit more damage, I think, at the start. But I really just want to see what happens with this Cabrakan throughout the match, because I have a heavy feeling that if we don't see an amazing start here for the Cabrakan, he's probably just going to get free farmed.
There's a lot of CC beads burners from Sanguine here, and then Ra is the real damage that they're looking for after the fact, I feel. Let's find out how Sanguine do, though. Can they find the win here? Or will Very Nice to Me take this out in 2 games straight? The casters, they're standing by to bring you game 2.
Here we are, ready for game number 2. Very Nice to Me versus Sanguine. Close up until a point, but Very Nice to Me very clearly, I think, the dominant team. And now as we approach game number 2, a little bit of a shake-up here in the drafts. Some odd picks. The Cabrakan, kind of interesting.
I like the idea, though, by yunglad. I do. I think that there is something to this pickup, especially against Mercury and Agni and Terra. I mean, these are all gods, and Hachiman, even the tier, these are all gods that can get trapped by that ultimate really, really well. But he could also get CC'd very heavily by this composition. He has to be close by. Yunglad's going to have to get really tanky really fast.
Already, Sanguine looking for the gank on the right side. That could be part of it, but Yuji going to shy away from it. Diesel pops in early beats.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Don't like it either, but does get him ready to go on this purple buff right away. Invade successful. No, did Lefty steal that with an auto? I think he did. Nice double stun again. And Diesel now has to get on the run because Molluskk is on the way, but so is Yuji.
So here the mid laners. They're going to be locked into their lanes. Mineral looking aggressively, gets the stun onto Lefty. Shell going to be popped, and trouble as the Molluskk now gets lacerated. Yuji uses beads to get on out of there. All right, one didn't go well. You didn't like that play.
Target selection. Why are they on 2 different gods in that spot? That's a guaranteed first blood if Sanguine just communicate on who they should be hitting in that spot right there. And it should have been DaddyLefty, without a doubt. I mean, the beads are there for Wowy, but he's a little bit healthier. Lefty's level 1. Yes, he's got Shell, but that's going to help out Wowy as well. Hit the Terra that's level 1 who's already weak.
I'm with you. That also seemed to be the issue in game number 1, communication or lack thereof. We talked about it, how the tier 2 tower defense kind of spelled the demise of Sanguine, and that to me was all communication. I see the same thing over here on the left side lane, just lack of communication. I need Sanguine to really step up in that regard. Mineral and Sheyka clearly are the ones that are on the up and up. Mineral was the one targeting Lefty. They need to be more vocal, and if they are being vocal, flat out, the teammates need to listen.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely a problem so far for Sanguine, but they still can clearly make it happen. I mean, they're putting themselves in good positions, and if it's as simple as just listening to someone, then that's an adjustment you can make mid-game.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a huge deal if you could just get everyone on the same page.
Sheyka's playing this Ra, a character that we see not all that often, but he's not unheard of. Nice job, Yuji. I love his Ra. His Ra is really impressive. Lefty, very low again. Nice!
Oh, no.
Got him with the Medusa nonsense. Wowy sets up his teammate for death, and first blood goes the way of Sanguine.
I don't know if Wowy's the one who turned DaddyLefty's camera around to see what was happening in that spot. Turn and run, my guy. A little bit too aggressive.
S-key leads to failure most of the time. Yuji gets just cut down a little bit too far forward without the vision, and he's put to shame. SoloOrTroll hits the Fearless. Tier, high key, one of my favorite characters to watch. Not the strongest, though. Easily shut down by a number of cripple abilities in the game at the moment. Here, making his performance here. We actually saw him from Julio on the Poppies yesterday in European style. That's one of Julio's sort of signature picks, so that's why we see it there. But here on SoloOrTroll, kind of interesting.
I like it, though, because what's something that we pick a lot against Cabrakan? Disarm.
Yep.
Tier has it now. With that blue stance Fearless, he can get that disarm off and stop that first stun from coming through
the
a lot of
walrus
the time
hands.
from Yunglad. Yes, the walrus hands.
Wowy gonna be taunted,
Nice
and Mercury comes all the way through. Molluskk, oh, he sets the table, and then he eats twice, dinner and dessert. 3 kills in total for very nice to me. And the Molluskk with a classic Mercury gank. And if game number 1 was any indication, giving this gentleman a lead is a devastating thing.
I'll tell you what, you said it in game 1. Molluskk is either really hot or really cold, and he has played great so far today. And it really does feel like it's sometimes that simple when you're on his team. Like, we are either going to win fast or it's going to be hard for us. And they won not super fast, but as soon as Molluskk got off the ground, it was pretty much all very nice to me and smooth sailing from there. And I expect more of the same, especially with Mercury, who, for my money, is probably the best jungler in the game right now. I think Pele is really the only one who might have a contest on that.
I mean, we're in a jungler-driven league. Spike's been that way for a while, but I think specifically here in Season 5, Sheyka's getting aggressive. I don't really like that call because Ocean's going to be more so. Dashes and just gets the kill. Yuji going to get the double knockup. Oceans could fall, but a nice Terra ultimate is going to set him up still. Kill goes the way of Yuji. Now Molluskk just going to one punch to freedom.
Mineral might fall as well because SoloOrTroll is on the rotation. Mineral
You don't even know?
doesn't see him until it might be a little bit too late. Lawbringer's available. Mineral's trying to get enough distance away. SoloOrTroll hits the slow and gets the kill. Mineral only had one chance to surrender and didn't take it.
Well, this is actually contrary to the way the minor league used to go. This is a best of 3, so there are 2 chances to surrender at most.
Well, in this game, they only have one chance to surrender.
That's fair, but if you're looking at it individual game. You got to look at the set. So there's 2 chances to surrender.
If you say so. Yeah, already very nice to me, just looking really good. And Sheyka with a poor decision making there to go in after receiving the Athena ult. I mean, in order to look at, for those last few team fights to go as well as they were for very nice to me, you kind of need your opposition to gift you a couple openings. And I think that Sanguine has had a few too many openings so far in this set. I mean, yes, they made some good plays as well. And yes, very nice to me has created their own openings, but the game gets a lot easier for you when you're able to just capitalize off your opponent's mistakes.
Absolutely. Sheyka right now gonna get stunned up. This one less of a mistake and more just good play by very nice to me. If you're not allowed to be in your own jungle, where are you allowed to be?
Right.
So Sheyka gets cut down. Good job there. Number 8 for very nice to me. And I started saying this because themolluskk involved in that one as well. 7 out of 8 have his stamp of approval. This is a jungler-driven league, specifically so in this season. And we've seen many great junglers. I look at Scream, probably the best example, who has now gotten more consistent. But Scream was the helm of a award-winning team and was streaky.
Yes.
You can be successful and be hot or not. And this themolluskk player has always been on the cusp of competitive play, and I think his consistency hasn't been one of them. Hasn't been one of the reasons keeping him from top-level play. When he's hot, he is really that good, and your team can win off of it. So I like the change for very nice to me to grab him. Again, like I said, wasn't the biggest fan of Glavis. I thought that very nice to me on their losses, they fell down in the fall split compared to the earlier start of the season. I think a lot of their issues came from the jungle, and so seeing Classified, the organization become defunct, the team not make it, so they become defunct, and the themolluskk being able to be picked up here, Riot. I love this change.
Yunglad gets dunked on the right-hand side. Mineral has joined the fray only to immediately lose half his health, but Yuji on the way, hits literally nobody with that through the Cosmos. SoloOrTroll still out in the middle. No man's land, but a double Fearless straight into damage coming out of Oceans. You had but one chance. SoloOrTroll gets the double kill, and he earned every bit of it.
That's why I get the question on stream almost every day, what's your favorite character to watch? And Tyr is still up there, even though we see him once in a blue moon. Because of that, 2-man Fearless into just the Agni nonsense. And sorry, homie, that you only had one chance to surrender. Oh, it's so cool to watch, Aggro. I love it.
It's really cool. And, I mean, we can call a spade a spade. If Yuji is in the same area code with his abilities, then that never happens. But where he got on the wrong flight and ended up at the wrong airport. Never got a chance to go home.
Is that a shot at me?
No. Did that happen to you?
Which time?
Oh, no. I once booked the wrong date for a flight, and it took much longer than it should have to get resolved. But we got there.
My one of my first flights with hi-rez, I had been, well, Younglad still getting controlled here. I just joined the company, and hi-rez flew us to the Invitational in San Jose for what was it, AFK?
AFK, yeah.
Yeah, that was Allies. We were over there for AFK Invitational, and I missed my flight. SoloOrTroll misses his ult, doesn't miss his Fearless, but he misses the kill.
And this is classic SoloOrTroll.
That is the most SoloOrTroll.
That is so classic. Snipe splits the uprights there from Sheyka, and he'll get split by themolluskk. But this is like, he's doing great work. He's doing so well. And then he ints. I mean, that's just intentionally feeding. I might have reported him for that.
As a commentator, what we do is we have talent reels that show us, like, what do you get out of aggro? And it's the most aggro moments you can think of. Obviously, they're when you look good, right? But the most aggro moments that you can think of. If I'm making a reel for SoloOrTroll, that is the only clip. That is him. He's demolishing you.
Right. I highlight that he's up 3 levels.
With the beginning of the game.
Right. I highlight that he's up 3 levels. I point out that he's up about 1,000 gold in net worth. And then I watch him die.
Wowy just charging towards Diesel. Ultimate or nah. The last hit goes to the Hachiman player. As Diesel out of gas right there. Falls down. 9 kills in the lead is very nice to me. And a much different game than game number 1. This is the Smileys all the way from the beginning.
Ocean doesn't have beads. Yuji on the mark this time with that stun. Good damage onto Ocean, but there he goes. See you later, Yuji. See you later, Mineral.
See you later.
That very nice of me making it look pretty easy.
I'm not going to lie there, Ryan. I expected that. That's fair. I do give very nice to me, or SoloOrTroll and Sheyka. That's fun to watch. That said, Sheyka should have been defending the Gold Fury.
He can. I mean, SoloOrTroll is literally level 12, and Sheyka's 0-4. Even with SoloOrTroll using every ability in the kit. You have to get close enough to bleh.
He's raw. He can bleh from a while, from a distance.
Not SoloOrTroll's never let him there.
Either way. Diesel gonna back here. That's what he thinks. The man, the myth, the mollusk.
Close there for Mollusk, but all calculated, of course.
He knew he was alive. No chance. By the way, again, SoloOrTroll. Pulling the SoloOrTroll.
It's actually the worst thing you can see when SoloOrTroll is on your team is him get that fed that early. Because then all forms of decision-making go out the window.
See, I can't really rash SoloOrTroll that much because that is my exact play style. And you've watched me stream, so you know it. The difference is I'm playing in the Gold League, and SoloOrTroll is trying to get to SmiteVOD Championships.
Yes, exactly. That is the difference. Yuji loses his one-on-one. No surprise. That's an 8-1 Mercury going in against a 1-4 Ratatoskr. Yunglad, oh, that's a nice ultimate you got there. Now you're dead. Because the Mollusk can basically just run you down. Actually, SoloOrTroll doesn't have blink up. I thought he would, teleporting in. So, Yunglad still up.
He missed a blink on Sheyka, who's now going to get aggressed on from behind by DaddyLefty. And the Mollusk gets hit, but not enough to take him down. Sheyka falls to the wayside. SoloOrTroll with the last hit, 4-2-1.
Look
for our rambunctious SoloOrTroll.
We are in moral victory territory right now for Sanguine. The fact that Sheyka hit a good snipe without any sort of vision, that's a win. We take that.
You take that, maybe.
Yes.
We leave that.
No, man. Hey, when my team is losing by this much, and we are, I mean, this is literally the death throes of Sanguine's season, quite literally on this game.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good about hitting that snipe.
Well, all I'm going to say is that for no reason at all, I think Mineral is the best player on Sanguine. Certainly the best looking.
Tom, I got a feeling that there's something there.
No reason at all.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, let's go down the list here. Has Mineral been subscribed to you on Twitch for a long time?
No, he hasn't. He should be though.
Yeah. Has Mineral like said nice things about you recently on Twitter?
Not particularly.
Oh, Tom, where's Mineral from?
The Bronx, baby. He's from New York City. That's right. The best. I bet he's wearing his Timbs right now.
Oh yeah, you think he's sad right now because of the Yankees?
Said we wouldn't talk about it.
I know, but you brought it up.
No, I didn't. No way.
You brought up New York, didn't you?
Ocean's brought down Diesel. Mineral on the run.
Go Sox.
He's going to be fine. He's going to get out of here. Anybody want to cast? Hey, Joe. Take over for Ryan. Joe's actually coming in.
Oh, no.
So I called Joe, bro, the guy who makes the meme videos. You want to cast instead of aggro?
I don't think that we can do that.
He says he'll do it.
I mean, I'm sure he'd do a great job. I'm actually really intimidated by this because I know that if Joe Bro were to cast, people would realize how we all should just be aspiring to be Joe Bro.
It's very true.
So I don't want to make them realize just how inferior I am as a human being in comparison.
And again, I'm going to plug it because it's something you have to watch. Esports Weekly Tuesdays, we are on a hiatus, but every Tuesday there's a meme video that Joe puts out for us and the Paladin side for what it's worth.
And it literally makes me cry with laughter every week.
The last episode that we ended our season, so to speak, on, it was just John Finch funching around.
Yeah, full funch mode for sure.
And we came back to the desk. Hindu Man had tears in his eyes.
No, streaming down his face, not in his eyes. Like I've never seen him I laughed that hard.
I was laughing so hard from the other set. I think it came on your mic. I was losing it, man. Very funny stuff. Don't want to miss it. I'm sure you can catch the VODs as well. molluskk still on a tear here as he finds kill number 3 for his hunter. Top damage is brought to you by the tier. That's going to wave at Sheyka. Swag flip over the top. And Wowy finds the better part of a double kill. The 4th surrender vote in 17 minutes. Really rough for Sanguine here. Not how they wanted to finish their season, I think. Their last regular season game against this very team. They win, and they win handedly. They looked very strong there, Ryan. And I just don't know what didn't translate.
I think it was just a switch to molluskk and oceans.
Yeah.
I think that's the entire difference. I mean, Sanguine beat up on Alpadog. They beat up on Glavis, and that's where they got that win. This time around, very nice. He makes a swap, and they look great with it.
I thought he was going to get it. But yeah, no, molluskk and oceans, the jungle mid synergy here, really working like a strong rhythm section, and that's the change. That is the change. I asked you the question, and I knew the answer before I asked it. Just a fantastic change for very nice to me. Sometimes that's all you need. It's a little bit of roster movement around. 10,000 gold in the lead is very nice to me. And Sanguine hang it up, realize that their Season 5 comes to a close. And very nice to me takes the win.
Look, normally, I mean, I got an Optimus gang yesterday for surrendering away their season, and that is usually a look that I'm not a fan of. That game is so far out of reach that it was really irrelevant if they kept going or not. I think yesterday that those games weren't over for Optimus gang, and that's why I was frustrated with them. That game over, Sanguine just wasn't able to compete today.
Also, if I'm Sanguine, I'm looking at getting here as a success. Sheyka and perhaps Yuji are guys that have been around for a long time, and maybe Sheyka doesn't look at that as a success. But I think when you look at Mineral, when you look at Diesel, these guys, this is one of their kind of first jumps into the competitive world. Unlike a lot of these other players and the success they had specifically towards the end of the season, this is very much a we weren't even supposed to be here type thing. Braves fans know what I'm talking about.
Exactly, but it still hurts, okay? It still hurts. The Braves are my new NL team, since I moved here, because the Pirates are so horrible all the time.
Say that again?
The Pirates are horrible all the time.
That makes me feel a little bit good. That does it for Sanguine. Very nice to me. Takes them 2-0. Let's break it down with Hindu Man, the cricket player, on the desk.
Okay, that's me. Welcome back to the desk. Very nice to meet with the 2-0. Less than 17 minutes, well, just over 17 minutes there to defeat Sanguine in that one. Commiserations to Sanguine, Taco. They're not going to be advancing any further at all this year.
I think that coming into this, Sanguine kind of understood that they were probably the least likely favored to have a chance at walking away from this round robin as the overall victors, but they did put up a hell of a fight in both sets. I know that the second game kind of just got away from Sanguine, and that's understandable for them to go for the F6 there. Everything that Aggro said was on point. It's just that things were a little bit too out of control by then, and it was mostly just molluskk and oceans, Wowy even. The entirety of Very Nice to Me could just run at Sanguine from any given direction and kill them all because of how much of a lead they had managed to develop in that secondary match. And it was kind of just called from the start by us, I feel, even on the desk. Looking at the draft overall, I just think that Sheyka had a really hard time on this Raw, finding the positioning that was going to keep him safe from this Agni and Mercury.
Yeah, at the end of the game, though, molluskk will be the MVP. He got it in Game 1 on the Bastet, Game 2 on the Mercury. But then again, you play Mercury into a Raw, you're going to have an easy time of things to an extent, easy lane ganks, and well, in situations like this happen at the start of the game, it's going to make things a lot easier. So Very Nice to Me managed to take the set over Sanguine. Sanguine lost earlier today to Armada, and now that just leaves us with, well, one more best of 3 to play. 2 teams remaining from the minor league, one of which will make it to the placement stage this time round, Taco.
But here's the thing, is that going up against a team like Sanguine, as Very Nice to Me, and considering how well Very Nice to Me had been looking throughout this split, we were pretty much looking at this to be the outcome. But these roster changes, I think that they're good enough to beat Sanguine. I am not sold on them being good enough to beat a team like Armada.